Good afternoon, Detective Superintendent Nicholas Pedro, and next to me is my colleague, Acting Detective Inspector Shanita Tankard. We want to give you an update with regards to the serious sexual assault that occurred on Sunday, the 20th of September on Fairylands Road in Pembroke. First of all, we'd like to start off by thanking all the members of the public and members of the business community that have come forward to assist us with our inquiries, in particular with getting us some CCTV footage from their locations. We have been working with the 31-year-old victim in this case, and we're pleased to say that things are progressing well with regards to understanding from her what occurred in those early hours of Sunday morning. We are still very keen to hear from anyone who may have seen a brown-skinned male riding a red motorcycle in or around the city of Hamilton, and indeed the Pitts Bay Road, Fairylands Road area of Pembroke between 6 and 6:45 a.m. on Sunday morning. As I said, the suspect was on a red motorcycle wearing what we believe to be dark or black clothing and a black helmet with a dark visor as well. I'm revising the initial description of the suspect from 5'10" to between 5'7" and 5'8" tall, based on inquiries that we've made so far. We're following up on multiple lines of inquiry and imploring on anyone that has any information to come forward to help us catch this culprit. We are still encouraging people that haven't spoken to our detectives that may have CCTV footage in those areas that I mentioned to review that, and if you haven't heard from us, please make contact with us. I think it's important again to reiterate that this type of crime is extremely rare in Bermuda, and we continue to urge people to take precautions, which include being aware of your surroundings at all times. Please try and stay off your phone, particularly if you're out walking or running in public areas, and that's to avoid being unaware of your surroundings, to avoid being targeted. Don't carry a purse with you or other personal valuable items unless absolutely necessary. Please make sure your residence is secure. When you're parking, choose well-lit spots, and the same goes for walkers. Use well-lit and well-traveled routes. Trust your instincts. This is important. If you see something or someone that makes you feel uncomfortable, take action to avoid having that encounter or leave the area. Don't make yourself a target by wearing flash jewelry or showing an expensive cell phone, and also you can consider self-defense classes. I say these items not because they're particular to this case, but these are just general good safety points that we would encourage all people that are out in the public to undertake, particularly when it's hours of darkness or early in the morning. I'd like to reassure the community that we are working diligently to bring the offender to justice, but we can only do this with the public's assistance. So again, we would urge people to come forward that may have information with regards to this particular perpetrator or what happened on this particular morning, or if they may have evidence that may lead us to catch the offender. I would like to again introduce my colleague, Acting Detective Inspector Shanita Tankard, who is leading the inquiry from the Vulnerable Persons Unit, and open the floor to any questions.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pedro. You mentioned that there was some significant progress made in going through this and finding the culprit. Could you please share with us what some of that progress would have been? Is that possible?
Well, we're making progress in that we have collected a number of forensic items, and we're reviewing CCTV imagery that's in our possession that we think may lead to identifying the suspect, but we are still working with that, and that is very much part and parcel of the investigation, as it would be in any inquiry. So to that extent, we believe we've made reasonable progress, but we're not at liberty to disclose precisely what that is at this point.
Superintendent Pedro, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Detective Inspector Tankard. I was wondering, is there any chance that the victim knew the perpetrator? Was this a completely random attack, does it seem like?
There is no evidence at this time to state that the victim knew
evidence that shows the alleged perpetrator at all?
We are examining footage that we think may be the suspect, but we are working to either confirm or negate that. So that's just part of the investigation that's going on at the moment. But yes, we are working with some imagery that has the possibility of that being the case.
Excellent. And do you believe that the victim would be able to identify the perpetrator if he was put in front of...
We would not comment on that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I beg your pardon? Okay, so just for the benefit of the public, again, we believe the suspect is a brown-skinned male, about 5'7" to 5'8", which is a revision from the initial release that we put out of 5'10" on Sunday. So be aware of that. The suspect was riding a red motorcycle and all dark or black clothing. Again, the time frame that we're particularly interested is anywhere between 0600, which is 6 a.m. to 6:45 a.m., particularly in the areas that we've mentioned. So, thank you.
Actually,
Sorry, yes.
One other question. Is it possible that the alleged culprit might have lived somewhere in the area, and if so, how would that affect the investigation?
Well, obviously, we look to geographical factors, and we look at whether or not there's any sexual offenders that may live in the area as well. So that, you know, those are fairly standard things that we do in this type of inquiry. So, you know, we look at a number of things that may point us towards identifying possible suspects, and those geographical factors obviously always factor into these types of crimes.
And again, the age of the perpetrator, about
Do you want to comment on that? I mean, at this point, we don't really wish to get into that level of detail, but yeah, leave it at that.
Okay, members of the media, thank you very much for attending this press conference.
Thank you.